Hey everyone, Evan Jones with you here on the RPAC Rundown podcast. This week on the pod, we will recap the NSAA State Track and Field Championships. What a weekend it was for that. If you want to see all of our coverage from State Track, check out the recaps on rpacrundown.com. Go to social media. We have a bunch of good stuff there. We will also preview state golf this week for RPAC golfers. We have 23 qualifiers in total, including 3 teams. All of the golfers for the RPAC are in Class D in Columbus. That is on Wednesday and Thursday, the 28th and 29th this week. Finally, we have Athletes of the Week brought to you by First Central Bank at the end of the show. As always, check us out on social media and rpacrundown.com. Of course, the RPAC Rundown podcast is brought to you by a bunch of great sponsors like Arapahoe Rehab and Fitness, Cambridge Supermarket, Webb's Oilfield Service, Cambridge Rehab and Fitness, Onyx Native, and C+. We'll take a break. Be right back. I tell you what, folks, State Track, pretty electric this past weekend for the RPAC. We want to say thanks to all of the coaches who've helped us out with information, athletes willing to do interviews, you who consume the content, and of course, our wonderful sponsors for sponsoring the coverage that we did. The RPAC athletes did a great job at the 2025 NSAA State Track and Field Championships. It was just incredible. We can't say it enough. What a weekend. The RPAC claimed 19 gold medals, 12 silver medals, and 1 all-class gold medal at the 2025 NSAA State Track and Field Championships for classes C and D. That is what the RPAC competed in. Obviously, the majority in Class D. We had a handful in Class C also, and that was on Friday and Saturday. The weather was much better on Saturday. The rain held off for the most part. However, we did have some rain showers on Saturday. Friday, it was very rainy in the afternoon, but it didn't put a damper on the performances by the RPAC athletes. It was just incredible to see. Both Dundee County Stratton boys and girls teams ran away with the team titles to clinch their first ever team titles for track and field for Dundee County Stratton. Based on our research, Max was the boys' 1932 state track champions, but these are the first titles in school history for Dundee County Stratton. We'll say it again. We have a full recap blog from both days with some great quotes from Coach Mike Spargo of Dundee County Stratton, interviews from athletes, and complete results there. Beginning with, though, let's go through our gold and silver medalists. We will say their name, what school they attend, and what event for times, distances, etc. Check out the articles on our website. And, of course, on social media, we have a bunch of stuff, too. So let's start with those gold medals. Kennedy Bailey of Dundee County Stratton in the shot put. We will mention this distance because she had an all-class gold in shot put with a toss of 43 feet, 4 1/4 inch. Also getting gold medals, Dundee County Stratton girls 4x100 meter relay. Clara Spargo of Dundee County Stratton in the 100. She had 4 total gold medals. Not too bad, some might say. Ashley Robertson of Wallace in the mile took a gold medal. Abby Spargo of Dundee County Stratton in the 300 hurdles. Clara Spargo of Dundee County Stratton in the 200. The Maywood Hayes Center girls 4x400 meter relay. Xavier Mitchell of Alma in the long jump. Gage Hammond of Southwest in pole vault. Brock Bailey of Dundee County Stratton in the discus. Dundee County Stratton boys 4x100 meter relay. Cale Garrett of Medicine Valley in the mile. Lakin Wissink of Dundee County Stratton in both the 100 and the 200. Kennedy Bailey again of Dundee County Stratton in the discus. The Maywood Hayes Center girls 4x800 meter relay. Clara Spargo of Dundee County Stratton in the 400. Brock Bailey of Dundee County Stratton in the shot put. Will Casey of Arapahoe in the 400. Now for silver medals. Addie Hunt of Southern Valley. She had a great weekend. She got one in the 200. Shelby Shaney of Bertrand in the 800. Abby Spargo of Dundee County Stratton in the 100 hurdles. The Arapahoe girls 4x400 meter relay. Jackson Sainer of Sutherland in the pole vault. Kevin Garcia of Dundee County Stratton in the 110 meter hurdles. Kevin Garcia of Dundee County Stratton again in the 300 hurdles. Addie Hunt of Southern Valley in the 400. Abby Spargo of Dundee County Stratton in the 400. Ashley Robertson of Wallace in the 2 mile. Ethan Latta of Dundee County Stratton in the high jump. And Cale Garrett of Medicine Valley in the 2 mile. Whew. After naming all of those, I feel like I just got done running the 3,200 meter run. And by our count, also 58 total medals in the RPAC. What a fantastic weekend it was for the conference. So we can't do this without the help of wonderful coaches, the athletes who are great doing interviews and performing. Obviously, they do a great job on the track and field. And of course, you who consume the content and our awesome sponsors. We can't thank all of you enough. We'd like to thank our sponsors of our state track coverage, brought to you by all of these great sponsors this past weekend. We can't thank them enough. Wagner's Supermarket, Blue Flower Bakery, JBK Operating LLC, Ag Edge Insurance, Greeley Concrete, Binkelman Pharmacy, Hometown Agency, Waypoint Bank in Cambridge and Eustis, Trails West, Dundee County Hospital and Quality Healthcare Clinic, Law Office of Ashley K. Spahn, Lord's Hardware Furniture and Appliances, W.R. Jackson Construction, LLC, Hardin Agency, Pitts and Spitz Barbecue, Matthews Family Chiropractic in Binkelman and Imperial, J&J Faithscapes, C+, Arapahoe Rehab and Fitness, Medicine Creek Family Dentistry, D&D Service, Scouts Recreation, Stengel Taxidermy, Prairie Girl Candle Company, Hawkswell Motors, Dakey Law Office, Hammond Hay Grinding, Wakanda Boats and Motors, Lamp Post 613, Midwest Auto Sales and Service, Copeland Electric, LLC, Western Nebraska Bank, Bentley and Kisker PC, Acme Printing Company, Dayspring Bank, Double D Hauling and Spreading, Kelly Detker, Aurora Co-op, Onyx Native, Western Select Genetics, Lance Shiflett, First State Bank, Cambridge Rehab and Fitness, Banner Capital Bank, Helena Agra Enterprises, LLC, Diamond J. Wagyu, Go Light, and Medicine Creek Counseling. Again, we can't thank our sponsors enough, coaches, athletes, and you who consume our content. We will never forget the 2025 NSAA State Track and Field Championships. Just incredible. Congrats to all of the athletes and coaches. We'll take a break and then we will preview the 2025 NSAA State Golf Championships coming up this week for RPAC athletes. This week, the NSAA State Golf Championships take place. All of the RPAC golfers who will compete are in Class D. That will be played at Quail Run Golf Course in Columbus on May 28th and 29th. That's Wednesday and Thursday this week. It is a 2-day event. I'm told by some of the folks who have played there, it's not a very long course. I mean, there are some holes that are pretty long there, but not necessarily what it's known for. But trees will play a factor, big cottonwood trees. I checked out the virtual tour that they have. It looks like dog legs on some holes. Water hazards are possible, along with bunkers that are pretty good sized also. It'll be interesting to see what the pin placements look like also. So easier said than done, and you can say this about any golf course. Keep it in the fairway. You'll be in a pretty good spot, it looks like. But it looks like a fairly tricky course, a championship level course. Obviously, they're having the NSAA State Championships there for Class D. In total, we have 23 golfers from the RPAC. There are 3 teams qualified with their 5 golfers and then 8 other individuals. First, for the teams that qualified, for Highline, Zach Whitaker, Gavin Tilson, Hudson Weeder, Colin Schutz, and Parker Schutz. Whitaker finished second with a 75 at the D4 district meet. Tilson had an 85 and finished 10th at districts. Weeder, Colin Schutz, and Parker Schutz have all been solid this season. They were the D4 district champs with an excellent score of 334. Now for Sutherland, they have Grady Dempsey, Riker Copeland, Easton Smith, Tegan Fitzpatrick, and Keaton Miller on that squad. Dempsey and Copeland have been steady all season. Both would have qualified as individuals this year with an 84 and an 86 for 6th and 9th place at their district. Easton Smith qualified last season as an individual. The Sailors beat Hitchcock County in a playoff for the district runner-up with a 363 at the D5. Now for Hitchcock County, their team is comprised of Jack Baker, Braden Melchert, Cale Graham, Mason Schilke, and Dylan Colmorgan. Hitchcock County was the team runner-up at state last season. Of course, Jack Baker was the runner-up as an individual last season in Class D. He shot an 82 and finished third at districts last week. Melchert was the D5 district champ with a 77 and finished 13th last year at state. The Falcons shot a 363 and took third at the D5 district. And those 8 other individuals who qualified for state, Dante Horner of Dundee County Stratton, he has been solid all season long, shooting in those higher 70s, low 80s, very consistent. Ethan Harden of Paxton has been playing well as of late. He's a previous state qualifier. Tristan Heblethwaite of Paxton tied for 10th with an 88 at the D5 district. Tyson Sullivan of Wallace tied for 10th with an 88 at the D5 district. Houston Billiter of Southwest, he was the D4 district individual champ, shot a 74. He was awesome, and he's been really great all season long. Micah Gerlach of Cambridge, a qualifier last year, and playing great once again this season is Gerlach. Tice Pate of Medicine Valley, he qualified last season too, been playing very good golf as of late. And then finally, Quentin Mumm of Bertrand, awesome this season, had a great district meet. He shot an 85, taking 9th. You can read more on this week's results blog to get more detailed information for these golfers and the teams. We are looking forward to hanging out at State Golf this week. It will be a lot of fun. We'll take a break, and then it's time to announce the RPAC Rundown Athletes of the Week, brought to you by First Central Bank. Welcome back. It's time to announce the RPAC Rundown Athletes of the Week, brought to you by First Central Bank. Let's plan for tomorrow together. First Central Bank, member FDIC. First, our female Athletes of the Week is how we will say it. The Dundee County Stratton girls track and field team. The Lady Tigers scored 86 points to win the school's first ever state title as a team, while bringing home 9 total medals, while 7 of them were gold and the other 2 were silver. What an outstanding performance from the entire team for the Dundee County Stratton girls track and field team. Our male athletes of the week, well, we have 3 selections. We just couldn't narrow it down. It was a crazy week, some amazing performances. Maybe the obvious one, the Dundee County Stratton boys track and field team. The Tigers scored 87 points to clinch their first ever state championship, as they won the team title with 87 points. Like we said, they brought home 11 total medals, with 5 of them being gold. Our 2 other athletes of the week. First, Houston Billiter of Southwest. At Lakeside Country Club last Monday, Billiter was the D4 individual district champ, shooting a 74 and qualifying for state. And then finally, we have Braden Melchert of Hitchcock County. At Lake Maloney Golf Course last Monday, Melchert shot a 77 to take home the D5 district title as the individual and qualify for state. Once again, our Athlete of the Week awards are brought to you by First Central Bank, member FDIC. That will do it for this week's episode of the podcast. We've got another busy week ahead of us, as we have state golf coming up on Wednesday and Thursday. Going to be a lot of fun. Be sure to follow along for updates and photos, a blog recap for both days. Be sure to follow along, as we will be at State Golf in Columbus for Class D, as we have 23 qualifiers for State Golf in Class D. Of course, the podcast is brought to you by a bunch of great sponsors like JBK Operating LLC, Scouts Recreation, First Central Bank, Cross Diamond Cattle Company, Tri-Valley Medical Foundation, and Prairie Girl Candle Company. Thanks a bunch for tuning in. We'll catch you later.